Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Spurs Speak with Kesh. And today, we're talking about one thing. After this weekend's results, it's making it even more apparent that Tottenham Hotspur are in a relegation battle against West Ham United and Nottingham Forest. So today, we talk through every fixture we have left. We've got 5 games remaining, and we're going to talk through each game week, where the points are, where they could be lost, and who's going to get relegated come the end of the season. So come along for the ride. Starting off, we've got game week 34. Tottenham Hotspur have Wolves away. West Ham have Everton at home. And Nottingham Forest have Sunderland away. 3 quite polarizingly different opposition. You've got Wolves, who have quite confidently had the worst season out of any team in the Premier League, hit a bit of run of form in the last few games for Tottenham. You've got Everton, who have been playing quite well across the season, challenging up there for European football. And then you've got Sunderland, who, yes, they are mid-table, but well overperforming what their expectations were for Nottingham Forest. And the way we're going to look at it, Tottenham Hotspur, we go out there. The performances we've had the last few weeks, I, for the first time in a long time, have hope that we could get a win. Tottenham, we've been better with De Zerbi. We've been miles better than we were under Tudor or Frank. And we nearly saw that come through in the result against Brighton. We played fantastic football. We played attacking, open play, just free-flowing football for the first time in months. And it was harsh that we didn't get the 3 points out of it. But this is where that turns. De Zerbi's got the players bought in. We're going to get our first win out of 2026 here away at Wolves, a stadium that we haven't won at in 5 years. So this isn't as easy a fixture coming in to even predict that we're getting a win here, because Wolves have historically been a bogey team for Tottenham, let alone in a season where we are probably having our worst results of all time. But I'm backing us to get the 3 points there. Now that leaves us on 34 points at the end of game week 35. I'm predicting here that Everton and West Ham have a draw. West Ham played quite well against Crystal Palace earlier in the week. Everton, they've been quite impressive, but at the London Stadium, we're saying West Ham and Everton draw, being 1 point apiece, putting West Ham on 33 points going into the next phase of the season, with Sunderland beating Nottingham Forest. I think Nottingham Forest, actually, if we look at the fixtures remaining, they probably have the toughest fixtures left. They've done their job in fixtures prior. They've, of course, pulled off the 4-1 win against Burnley. I had a lot of hope in me when Burnley went 1-0 up, but it went to nothing because Morgan Gibbs-White decided to score a hat-trick. But I think they still have the toughest run-in out of any of the 3 clubs that are battling for relegation realistically. We're not including Leeds in this. And I think that might be a potential downfall, because we're starting off with a loss against an informed Sunderland side who have played quite well, and it's at the Stadium of Light. So we're definitely going for a Nottingham Forest loss there. Moving forward into game week 35, Tottenham have Villa away. Now, one thing to note here, Villa are in between their Europa League semi-finals against Nottingham Forest, either side of this game. So that's going to play a part, because I think for Villa, now, while Champions League qualification is a priority for them, the trophy matters a lot. So they're really, really going to be pushing for that win in the Europa League. Does that mean that they may potentially rest a few players against Tottenham here? We don't know, right? So for that reason, I think there's too many variables with their Champions League qualification. You could argue Chelsea's drop off the last few weeks mean that Villa can feel reasonably confident, but I'm still going with Villa pull off a win here in Birmingham. I don't think we could realistically pull it off against Aston Villa. We haven't had the attacking prowess. While I think the Wolves game will be a big change in our season, or I think the Brighton game alone was a big change in our season, I see us going 1-0 up here and losing 2-1, to be honest. It's just the reality of the situation we're in. I don't think we hold on to a lead away at Villa Park. On the other side, you've got Brentford away for West Ham United. Brentford, probably one of, if not the best teams in the league right now on form. I think Brentford have been fantastic throughout the season under Keith Andrews. We really see the lack of value in Thomas Frank when we look at how Brentford have performed since he moved on from the club. And I think they're probably the form club in the league right now. So for that reason, West Ham aren't getting a result there. It's going to be Brentford 2, West Ham 0, and West Ham are leaving there with no points. And for Forest at Chelsea away, you could argue that Chelsea are probably the opposite end of the spectrum, right? They're probably one of the most out of form teams in the league. So you have to wonder here, on paper, Chelsea should clear this game up. But realistically, on form, the way they've been playing, I don't know if I can confidently say that, but I'm not going to confidently say it. I'm going to say it's a scrappy 2-1 win for Chelsea. And for that reason, Forest leave with 0 points at Stamford Bridge. Tottenham at this point remain on 34 points. West Ham at this point remain on 33 points into the relegation zone. And Nottingham Forest still on 36 points. It's come down to 3 points between 18th and 16th. Into game week 36, we see Leeds come to London as they face Tottenham. We see Arsenal come across the other side of London to the Olympic Stadium. We see Newcastle come down to Nottingham. It's a week where all three relegation teams will have home fixtures. That makes a difference, especially in the battles that each of these clubs are in. You've seen how in Tottenham, the fans have really turned up once this relegation battle almost started to feel a bit more real. And I think that makes a difference for how we play week in, week out, to be honest with you. Here I see Tottenham really, it's our first home game since the Brighton game. And I see us pulling the 3 points here. I think we do beat Leeds. I think we not only beat Leeds, I think we actually batter Leeds, to be honest with you. I think it's a 3-0, 4-0 drubbing. And it's what really gives us hope for the rest of the season to pull off the results that we need to save ourselves, potentially. Keep an eye out. You might see it, you might not. Then you've got West Ham with Arsenal at home. Look, as much as I want Arsenal to bottle this league title, I think that will be a game where I may need to be supporting Arsenal, to be honest with you, because at the end of the day, our survival is the most important thing to us right now. And if that means taking 3 points off West Ham, an ideal situation here is West Ham win this game, Arsenal bottle the league, and we stay up. Do I think that's as realistic? Probably not. So accordingly, we are going to hope and predict for a Arsenal win here. Means West Ham remain on their 33 points from the game week prior, and it means that Tottenham actually build a little bit of leg room between us and West Ham there, jumping up to 37 points before game week 37, while Nottingham Forest with Newcastle at home. Newcastle have probably been, I know I said this about Chelsea a few minutes ago. Now we need to note here, Forest are going to be just after their second leg against Aston Villa here in the Europa League semi-final. For Nottingham Forest, I don't know what the priority is. I'm not sure if the fans and the club would rather win the Europa League and go relegated or save themselves into the Premier League and lose the Europa League. I genuinely don't know. So that plays a part in this, right? And we need to see what happens in that first tie to really understand and grasp what that means. I'm saying they do prioritize the Europa League, but in saying all that, Newcastle have been horrendous lately. So accordingly, I'm saying here that Forest beat Newcastle, puts them on a nice 39 points, 1 point off the so-called safety barrier that every club wants to reach, that 40-point barrier. Puts them on 39. Heading into game week 37, we've got Tottenham Hotspur away at Chelsea, West Ham away at Newcastle, and Nottingham Forest away at Manchester. Following 3 straight home games, we've got 3 straight away games for all 3 relegation contenders. And it makes for a saucy penultimate week of the Premier League. We don't get results at Chelsea. We haven't for decades. But there's a glimmer of hope here. I think by that point, we are going to confidently be in a position where we can go to Stamford Bridge. The way Chelsea have been this season as well, it doesn't give me that much hope that they can really pull out the dominant results that we've seen between Chelsea and Tottenham before. So for that, I'm saying we leave there with a 1-1 draw. And that would be huge for us at that point. It puts us onto 38 points, needing a win, hypothetically, to really get over that 40-point barrier. It puts us actually a fair gap between us and West Ham at that point, who would be facing Newcastle at St. James's Park that week. Unfortunately, though, I'm saying West Ham beat Newcastle. West Ham beating Newcastle would be a huge result for them. It puts them onto 36 points. It'd be West Ham in 18th at 36, Tottenham on 38, and I'm saying Nottingham Forest losing their fixture away to Manchester United, who have been arguably one of the form teams, and they'll stay on 39 points, meaning heading into that last game of the season, it's 3 points from 18th to 16th. Any of the three teams can go down. There's a chance that all three teams, and this is, I didn't realize this was what the calculation was coming to, because I did each game by game, and I cannot believe the end result we've had here, because as Tottenham welcome Everton to London, West Ham welcome Leeds to London, and Nottingham Forest welcome Bournemouth to Nottingham. Again, it's 3 home fixtures, 3 away fixtures, 3 home fixtures. I'm saying here, Bournemouth pull a result against Nottingham Forest and win that game, meaning Nottingham Forest finish on 39 points. I'm saying West Ham beat Leeds, which I think is a very fair, practical, predictable result to end on 39 points. And I'm saying Tottenham Hotspur draw against Everton at home, ending on 39 points. Now, that is the worst possible scenario it could get to. I hope it doesn't, because my heart will be pounding way, way, way too much watching that final game of the season. But that would mean relegation goes to goal difference, not across 2 teams, but across 3 different clubs. And I think looking at the run-in of fixtures, this is the most realistic result. We're going to end up with at least 2 of these teams fighting between goal difference from here to there. And I think that makes it really important. We've held a positive goal difference in comparison to West Ham and Nottingham Forest, and we need to hold that from now till the end of the season, because I genuinely think that relegation battle is coming down to goal difference. They always say 40 points is what you need to be safe. 39 for all 3 teams is so possible, and it might be the defining number that stops either one of these 3 clubs from being in the Premier League next season. That's the reality of the situation. So that's what I see coming. That's what I see happening for the upcoming fixtures in the Premier League. We've got 5 games to go. Roberto De Zerbi, please, please, please pull out the results, my boy. We need it. We need more nights like Bilbao. We need plenty more nights like Bilbao. Beat Wolves, beat Leeds, pull a result against Chelsea. We're in a good spot. We should realistically at that point be beating Everton, but I don't know. The way we've been playing this season, I can't confidently say that, which is why I've gone for a draw. They're going to be fighting for European football as well, and I hope they're not, but that's the reality of the situation. That's been it for today. That's all we're going to be talking through with the relegation run-in. It's a scenario where it comes down to goal difference, and I see Tottenham probably having the best goal difference out of the 3, so I'm predicting that we do get saved by the skin of our teeth. I'm saying we get saved. West Ham, I think they have the lowest goal difference out of the 3, and they will go down. Nottingham Forest also saved by the skin of their teeth. But thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, let me know who is going down. You tell me which of these fixtures are realistic, which of these predictions are realistic, and which of these fixtures I've got completely wrong. I think I've got none wrong, but I know that people have opinions on this. So comment, let me know what your thoughts are, subscribe, and I'll be seeing you next time.